Hey, so I just finished recording this review, and I for one thought that the trailers kind of spoiled a lot of the movie, but as I read some stuff online, I realized that a lot of other people didn't take it that way, so this review didn't end up being as spoiler-free as I thought, so I would call it spoiler-free-ish. Proceed at your own risk. This movie has a very weird sort of narrator thing. It's spoiler-free-ish. Okay, enjoy. Hello everyone, it is Chad here from Lutoons once again, back with another very mind-blowing episode of every animated movie of the year. Great to be back, as always. And today we saw The Boss Baby from our friendly neighborhood DreamWorks Animation. If you have been following my Every Animated Movie of the Year series from 2016, then you will know that I kind of used Boss Baby as the poster child, pun not intended, for the seemingly sketchy slate of films in 2017, which is a bit unfair, I admit. Any of these films could easily be the next incredible animated thing, and I would love to say that Boss Baby proved me wrong on all fronts, and it did on some fronts, but largely I'm still feeling a bit of a lackluster start from the 2017 films. So let's start with the larger, more macro issue with the movie. Remember last year when I derided The Secret Life of Pets for being a bit of a formula-following movie, that formula being, at a glance, one character is happy with its owner/parent, suddenly a new character is introduced and gets all of the love and attention, and the first character gets jealous, tries to get rid of that new character, but after a sequence of adventures and trials, they learn to get along and all live happily under one roof. Pets did this, the Lily the Mouse kids books did this, Rugrats, of course Toy Story being a big one, and lots and lots and lots of others. This is a story structure that has been used to death. And even though I actually think Boss Baby is a bit better than Pets, just barely, because it has the misfortune of coming out a bit later, it feels very redundant and like just a retread of something we literally just saw.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
Now, this formula keeps popping up for a reason, because it always works. It worked in Pets, and it works well here. There's something about it that's always able to strike a nerve. I think it's probably because many people have been in a situation where they were in a good, comfortable place, and then a new element comes in and ruins everything, but eventually you learn that the new element ain't so bad after all. It's relatable! And like The Secret Life of Pets, The Boss Baby is able to actually add its own flavor to the mix, so it doesn't feel like a complete copycat. The entire story centralizes around the main character Tim, who gets a new baby brother. But Tim has this very, very overactive imagination, so when he plays cowboys or astronauts, he really imagines that he's living those adventures, and we as the audience get to see that on screen in some really cool and vivid representations. But thusly, he uses that imagination to turn his newborn baby brother into another one of these fantasy characters, imagining him as some kind of a new boss of the family, hence the entire story. By the way, this is based on a kid's book, so I don't want to say like it rips off Secret Life of Pets, Toy Story formulas, because I don't remember how old that book was, but I do remember seeing it. So for all I know, The Boss Baby actually invented this entire trope. I don't think so, but maybe. Baby. Now, as I said, the main character Tim imagines the newborn baby as this boss character, which kind of could be taken as a spoiler, but I really don't think it's a spoiler because it's addressed in the trailer when they show the kids going on this crazy car chase, but then from the parents' point of view, it's this very mundane thing where it looks very silly and slow-paced.
The kids are finally getting along.
That's nice.
And I think that was a mistake in the trailer, but that is looking into it very deeply and digging a little too much, because my over-analytical brain wants to dissect the logic and goings-on of the film to death. What's real? What's imaginary? And how would some of the things work that Tim imagined in the real world? Was the baby ever really wearing a suit at all? I mean, the parents acknowledged it in the trailer. If you've seen the film, you'll have a better idea of what I'm talking about, but ultimately it's best not to do that and just accept that the movie is more about the idea of imagination and a kid learning to accept and cope with his new brother and what that means for him and his family as a whole. Now, being spring break time, I was in a theater full of kids and parents, which is always for me a great barometer for any animated film, if you can put up with sort of the chatter and the chair kicking, which I personally don't really mind, to be honest. Now, I noticed something that I kind of found problematic. Yes, the movie is filled with poopy baby jokes and farts and slapstick, and the audience was boisterous with laughter for all of those. But the movie's true core of humor actually centralizes around Alec Baldwin, who does a great job. But his dialogue and jokes are so referential to his prior works, corporate ins and outs, and the kinds of things that only a jaded adult would understand, that I noticed so much of the intended humor flying straight out of the movie screen and right back to the projectors, aka right over the kids' heads. Now, don't get me wrong, peppering in jokes for the older viewers who likely accompany the younger ones is a key thing. It helps parents and babysitters and film reviewers like me to not want to blow their brains out. But there were a lot in this movie. I'd argue there were even more adult jokes than kids' jokes. References to Baldwin's classic film Glengarry Glen Ross.
You want to go out on those sits tonight and close, it's yours. Not, you're going to be shining my shoes.
Jokes about prison shanks, Long Island iced teas, jokes about being fired, severance packages, all of which I got a kick out of, but were lost on the majority of my nearly sold out theater. Now, you could call that a problem, you could call that awesome, it's something better for older people to watch. I don't know what you would call it, but I think there's a way to make a movie funny and connect with literally everybody. You take something from last year like Moana, which was filled with funny moments that had the adults and kids all laughing at the same stuff. The humor was universal, not, these are the jokes for kids, okay, now it's time to make a few jokes for the adults.
I am Moana of Motunui. This is my canoe, and you will journey to different...
And she's back.
I am Moana of Motunui.
And by the way, I'd like to just say that is a hard thing to get away with. I don't think that's an easy thing to do at all. The kudos go to those movies who do pull it off, but I'm just saying there was a big separation between the variety of humor in the movie. So, the movie is solid. It takes a safe and time-tested formula and delivers it with competence. A commendable performance from Alec Baldwin is the glue of the thing, and a few immaculate action sequences, which DreamWorks always does better than anyone else, almost bring this thing to the promised land, but all in all, the movie doesn't really cross that good to great zone that you always hope for. And for DreamWorks, I definitely worry about this and Trolls being its modern face, so to speak, when I think of the home runs like Shrek, Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, and even spookier, as a kid who grew up reading Captain Underpants, I'm even more nervous for that one. But Boss Baby is the word for today, so let's throw to the list where The Boss Baby is the best animated movie of the year. I know you're surprised, perhaps, but as I said, the movie is really solid, and so far I don't think DreamWorks is capable of a really bad movie. So I think this one sits solidly at the top spot. I feel comfortable about using the word good to describe the movie, which funnily doesn't sound like a compliment at all. But still, I'm kind of waiting for something to come along this year that really makes me fall in love, like so many entries we had last year. Something original and captivating and gorgeous. Perhaps Ferdinand, maybe Coco, maybe even Despicable Me 3. Well, we will see. Lots to come as always, of course, and we will be covering each and every movie, even the weird ones, so long as they're going to theaters. I'm going to that theater and I'm watching it. And I will be reviewing it right here on every animated movie of the year. Oh, and one more thing. If you enjoyed this video, or if you just enjoy my channel in general, you can always feel free to hit that like button. It's the best way to help my channel out because it helps to spread the video out into the internet and get more people to see it, which is always great. So thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.